Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to some Dragon Ball Super Card Game Fusion World mouthful starter deck EXs. This is for Shallot and Giblet. So two names that watch the Dragon Ball Z fans probably aren't even familiar with. So these are all silver foil decks, which is what makes them the X. These are actually decks number 9 and 10, so I'm going to do them together. And they're based off the Dragon Ball Legends video game or app game. So yeah, they're going to have some special stuff in there. So it says, in collaboration with Dragon Ball Legends, the deck led by Shallot is available, or we have Giblet. Dragon Ball Legends is a smartphone action game where anyone can control and perform splashy special moves with Dragon Ball Z characters, all with a single finger. So you can jump in and go ahead and play this game if you want. We're going to get some cards from them. On the side here, of course, it's going to tell us every card that's in there, so if you want to pause that, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and look through these. So we're going to get is our 51 card deck, our energy marker, our manual, our bonus pack, and our promotional code for the online game if you want to play the online digital game of Dragon Ball Super Fusion World card game. So very cool. Only good till July 13th of 2026. I gotta check some of mine. I have some from recent sets I haven't played yet. So it's like we're gonna have whoever Shallot is and Goku, and then we're gonna have one with Giblet and Brawly. Yeah, so let's go ahead and crack these open and see what we got in here. So a lot of times whenever these sets do like EXs or specials, usually they come with a bunch of like sleeves or a playmat or something. This one's just all foil cards. That's why they're a little bit more, it's a little bit more expensive. But that's also another fun part about doing these videos, is because then maybe you can determine if they're worth picking up for the cards, is worth the extra price for you. Because typically starter decks are like about 20 bucks. This one's closer to about 25, usually about 15 to 20. These are about 25 to 30, depending on where you buy them. We have our playmat, of course. Then we also have a booster bonus pack for Shallot. This is 18 different cards in total, so it's going to usually be one card of the 18. So it's just one alternate foil for one of the 18 brand new cards in this set. We have to unwrap this because we haven't done that yet. Alright, so we will have our code card, which I am not going to show you. That's for me. Sometime I will try and get back on for anyone that has been following. When the first couple of sets came out, I did do the Fusion World online game. I went through and played a bunch of that stuff. And I'll probably go back on and try and do that again at some point if you're interested in seeing it. It's just I have the account on my old computer, which doesn't, I had to switch to a new computer. The old one still runs, but I couldn't switch my account over. So I have to then, rehook up my monitor and all my keyboard and everything to the old computer. And then if I want to go back to doing anything else I normally do, I have to go back. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do for one game. So that's why I haven't done it for a while. So here is our energy marker. It's a special foil, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at these cards. We're going to set that one off to the side for now. So we're going to start with Shallot. So we have a black deck leader, so I have Dragon Ball Legend down here, just to keep track of that. So you saw some version of a saying we can play as. Activate main, pay 4, switch to the specified number of energy rest mode, put up to one battle card with a 10,000 combo power and a saying and special traits from your hand. Interesting. An active or awakening to be activated during active main. If 4 or less life, draw one card, then flip this over. So lots of the times the main powers are either like do extra damage, like do double damage or something like that, or they're draw a card. So this is interesting. So his given that you can pay 4 to play a battle card with a combo power of 10,000 or more and saying. So very specific cards, but the fact is you can play an extra card, that's pretty cool. If we awaken him, this is where we'll get our special foily side. Definitely looks cool. So is he a Super Saiyan Blue then, or is this some other version of him? I'm not sure. They don't, of course they don't tell you on here. He only goes up to 20,000 power. So in here, he gets his one attack, and he gets to draw a card, and he has an active main, he can do the same exact ability. Of course, being a leader, we only get one copy of it. So for our next one, we get 2 copies of Son Goku Saiyan Universe 7. This is a super rare listed one, so it's actually card number 7. Possibly Ultra Instinct version? Does look like he has blue hair though, so it's probably more Super Saiyan Blue when he first turns that. Yeah, kind of cool. The foil on here is interesting, but I don't know if it's enough. If it's enough for me to be like, it's so far up, it was worth the extra money for it. Especially when you start getting where it starts covering up like the text and stuff, where you have to have it at the right angle. It says, on play, place 1 card from your hand on top of its owner's deck. If you don't have an energy marker, you may place an energy marker. So this is actually a black. It is a black card. The blue text down there is throwing me off. Sorry. When attacking with the top card of your deck and add it to your hand, if the revealed card costs 6, you draw 1 card. Awesome. So you can put a card on your deck to get your energy marker back. So you can watch the black cards let you respend that or gain bonuses for having one. Reveal the top card of your deck, add it to your hand. There's 6 your cost, draw a card. So you can purposely put one on there when you play this. And if you know that's what it is, you can then draw that card and hopefully get an extra card back. So it's not even a sacrifice. And you draw that card, basically, so you're placing that card down, you're getting to draw another one. You can actually add it to your hand, and then you get to draw another one, so you could potentially get double draw of it. Cool. We have 2 copies of dual cards. These are always fun when we get these. Son Goku and Bardock. Father and son doing a Team Kamehameha energy blast, I guess. When attacking once per turn, choose up to one of your battle cards with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Activate main once per turn, discard 1 card from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck, add it to your hand, reveal this card as 6, switch this card in battle area to active mode. Interesting. So this could also work with the other Goku. Like you could play him and then activate him. Interesting. 2 copies of Son Gohan Childhood, doing the father-son Kamehameha, the traditional one. It's very cool artwork. I just don't know about if it needed all the extra foils in there. On play, reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand. Reveal card 6, keep the 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Okay, so we gotta find more ways of putting cards on the top of our deck. Otherwise, this isn't as good as it would seem. Alright, so now we're going to get into... We have 2 copies of the super rares. We have Vegito. The combination of the 2. It's only a 2 cost, which is pretty cool. Permanent. Increase the cost of this card in a deck or a battle area by 4. Oh, interesting. So, like, when it's in your deck and you're trying to find it, or it's in your battle area, it is now a 4, so it's harder to take out, but you can pay 2 to play it. That's kind of neat. So you can't search for it as easy, because you need a 4 to search for it. And once it's on the table, it doesn't count as anything lower than a 4, so it's kind of interesting. On play, place 1 card from your hand on top of your owner's deck. If your leader is Shallot and you don't have an energy marker, you place 1 energy marker. Cool. So you can definitely get these energy markers to play stuff quicker. Alright, so now we have 4 copies of a Tinkinmon. So a gold Cybermon. I don't know from this game, but I know from the old Tenkei Budokai games and stuff, how those had the different colored Cybermen with different names here are cool. But he's our super combo. Use this card with a combo from your hand, gets 10,000 power combo. We're going to probably have other characters I don't know, such as this person. We have Zaha, who has a giant sword. When attacking, if there's a battle cost card of the cost of 6 in your battle area, Load the top 2 cards of your deck and use up to 1 battle card in a combo. Place the rest of the top of its owner's deck in any order. There's a battle card that costs 6 in your battle. So you have the whole thing about trying to get cards of 6. If we can get one out, load the top 2 cards of your deck and use up to 1 battle card in a combo. So spend one as a combo. Place the place whatever you don't use then on top of your own deck. So you can restack that and have possibly like 6 cost card on there as well. That's pretty cool. We have 2 copies of Jacko or Jocko. Who's a blocker, and on play, if you're leader Shallot, draw a card. We have 2 more copies of Shallot. Yeah, Super Saiyan Red. Activate May once per turn. Place 1 card from your hand on top of the owner's deck. If your leader is Shallot and there's a battle card that costs 6, you battle this card in a battle against Double Strike. Very cool. 4 copies of Goku. Planet Namek Goku. Looks like when he first turns Super Saiyan. Yep, Planet Namek right on there. It says Planet Namek before I even read that. 4 copies of Son Goku Childhood, fighting against King Piccolo. Activate main. Once per turn, if you're going to Shallot, draw 1 card, then place 1 card from your hand on top of its owner's deck. 4 copies of Trunks from the Future. Of course, this is the newer one. He has these Sword of Hope. Activate main. Once per turn, pay 1, switch the rest mode. Place 1 card from your hand on top of its owner's deck. If you don't have an energy marker, place your energy marker. So some of these, like, using the effects of the cards, placing cards on top could be really good. The energy marker could be good just about in any black deck. Like, that's the idea of a lot of them, is use that energy marker for extra effects. I haven't seen any of them that do this, but it's cool they're getting more cards that do it. Placing cards on top of your deck, in general, is not going to help you if you don't have an effect that plays off these other ones that say, oh, then reveal the top card of your deck. If it's this, you can use that effect. Because otherwise, you're just putting a card back in your deck, which means you know what you're drawing on your next turn. So it's not helpful in that sense. So interesting. We have a Nappa. On play, if your leader is Shallot, add 1 card from your life to your hand. Then with the top 3 cards of your owner deck, place it on top of their deck in any order. So rearrange your deck. We have 4 copies of Beerus, God of Destruction, Universe 7. To give us a critical. And on play, if you just Shallot, add 1 card from your life to your hand, top 3 cards of your deck, and put them back in any order. So again, some of these are kind of neat, but lots of these also require Shallot as being your leader. And since, as of right now, this is the only way to get Shallot, he's not buying any sets, especially not as a leader, these cards are going to be very, very useless outside this deck. Not to say they're not going to be like completely useless, because a 2 cost 20,000 critical might be very worth it if you play it in the right instance. But again, putting cards on top of your deck without them would activate them, or cards that require Shallot mean now all that text is completely blank unless you're playing with Shallot. It's neat to have something that focuses on him, but it also means, we might have cards that don't work with him. We have a Bulma, or like might not be as good just because like outside of this deck they're not going to do as much. On play, if we just Shallot, the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 battle card that costs 6 or less in 10,000 combo. Act your hand. Place those at the bottom of your deck in a random order. And our last 2 characters are 2 copies of Vegeta. There's a 6 cost card. We need more of those. Wicked Soul, so it's Majin version. Activate main. KO this card in the battle area. Choose up to 2 battle cards that cost 4 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO them. And we're going to get some extra cards. So we got 2 copies of Burning Power of Instinct. Activate main if there's a battle card that costs 6 in your battle. Chip to 2 battle cards that cost 3 in your opponent's battle area and KO them. And then we have 4 copies of I'm Gonna End You. If there are cards in a battle, 15,000 power for the battle. And if there's a battle card that costs a 16 battle, draw a card. So yeah, so very cool. It's a very interesting theming for a deck. I don't have a problem with the theming of it. Get 6 cost cards out, put them on your deck. You can draw them, do extra effects, getting your energy marker so you can play cards quicker, especially the 6 cost cards. Again, it's just if you don't have stuff that works with them, you're not using Shallot for this. You're picking them for another deck. About half these cards aren't going to be as effective. Alright, but let's take a look at what our bonus card is. We got, this is cool. Super rare extra foil Sun Gohan. So now, if they were like all like this for the foil, I definitely would have been like, this is all for it. Like, there's our regular foil versus our special foil. Like, if I was buying a deck of these, I'd have been like, hey, extra money for that deck is definitely worth it. When I'm buying it just to get some kind of like meh foil cards, I don't think that part was worth it. But, you know, live and learn, right? Alright, let's take a look at our other deck and see what we got there. Just leave the shiny foil up there for everyone to kind of look at while I open this. So, this is Giblet. So, I don't know if, like, per the game, maybe someone that knows the game could comment to me on this. I don't know if these guys are just 2 different characters, so like Goku, Vegeta of this game, like your playable characters, if they're rivals, or exactly what it is. But we have our other code card. We have our energy marker, which looks the same as that one. And then we'll start by taking a look at this. This is going to be a green deck, where black tends to focus on having that stuff with the energy marker. Green tends to focus on getting boosted up in power. The more power you can add up quickly, you can play lots of bigger cards. So Giblet is the same. It says when attacking, draw a card. So it's their standard effect. And then Awakening, if you have 4 or less, flip this card over. So that's our standard card there. Then it goes up to 20,000 and he boosts way up. So when attacking, draw a card. Activate main. Place one of your energies into its owner's drop. If you have 2 or less energy, add up to 2 battle cards from your drop to their owner's energy. Then, if you would add a card to its owner's energy during its turn, place that card in its owner's drop instead. If you have 2 or less energy, add up to 2 battle cards from your drop to their owner's energy. Interesting. So you're going to be playing around with putting stuff into your drop. So if you have, place 1 of your energy into its owner's drop. Alright, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the rest of the deck will dictate what this ability is really good for. So, during your turn, take 1 of your energy cards, put it in your drop, which is your discard pile. If you have 2 or less energy at that point, so you have 1 or 2, you can have up to 2 cards from your drop to their owner's energy. So let's say if you have 2, now you have 4. Okay, cool. So I'm up to 4. I was at 3. You know, potentially I got rid of 1. Now I'm back up to 4. So great. I gained 1 extra one. Not a bad idea. Because then you could kind of also recycle what cards in your drop areas or in your energy areas. So if you have cards that might play on them, you can kind of rearrange them. But then it says, if you would add a card to its owner's energy during this turn, place that card into its owner's drop instead. So, if you would add a card to its owner's energy during this turn, place the card in its... So is this the only way for him to gain energy? Discard 1 from your energy to put 2 cards back in there, but if you play any other energy, it goes right to your drop, your discard instead, so you can't play energy on this turn. Other energy, I'm not sure. We'll have to see if there's other cards that work with this. Alright, we got 2 copies of Golden Frieza, Frieza Clan, and Frieza Army. Definitely some cool artwork, though. I'll say I like the artwork on there. I'm just not as keen on all the foiling on them. Permanent, your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, discard an ability gains 5,000 power. Okay, obviously, so that's why I kind of figure you want to have less energy, you're going to gain bonuses. Typically, green wants to always have the most energy, so you can play cards repeatedly, and this is kind of going the opposite, which is interesting. On play for leaders, Giblet. Draw one card, and then add one card from your life to your hand. So you also reduce your life so you can play them quicker. Interesting. So we're going to get all the villains. The other one had all the heroes, so this is all the villains. So I wonder if these guys are nemesis. 2 copies of Goku Black. Who has critical on play, plays with 2 your energy in your owner's drop. Take 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area and KO it. Place 2 of your energy into their owner's drop. Interesting. Alright, so then we have 2 copies of Shallot. So is he combining a... So he has a Botara there, possibly. Is he combining 2 alternate versions of himself? Permanent, your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, this card gains 5,000 power. On play, place 2 of your energy into their owner's drop. If you lose Giblet, draw 1 card and add 1 battle card from your drop to its owner's energy. So again, get rid of 2 of them, you get 1 back. So it's kind of playing around with that, getting to shuffle them. We have 2 Brawlies, BR. Big Raging Broly. When attacking, once per turn, shift 1 of your battle cards that costs 2 less in your opponent's area and KO it. Activate main, place 1 of your energy into its owner's drop. Use Giblet, switch this card to active mode. So we're having the same exact thing. There's some interesting effects going on with having less energy, getting to play some cool stuff, which is a neat idea. Different game mechanic. I like that. Kind of like the black deck did. But then we also have a bunch of stuff that's like, if we don't have some way of like working off of that, then there's no point to it. If this is the only set that has this and nothing else does anything with that, it's kind of not helpful, kind of like putting cards on top of your deck. And then plus all this stuff that's like, oh, if you have Giblet as your leader. So if you don't have Giblet, then lots of these cards don't really have that good of effects. So he's just probably still decent with his basic thing. When attacking, discard something, great. But then the second one says, place 1 of your energy drop if your leader is Giblet. You're probably not going to get to use that ever if you don't have him. Interesting. Alright, then we have a Silver Cyberman Gingaman. Kind of hope they make more of these in the other colors. Like the next set would maybe come out. Maybe they'll have a Dragon Ball Legends set that comes out to kind of tie into this, and we'll have like the other colors. But yeah, we have a super combo from him. We have 2 copies of Zamazu. So if we have Goku Black, of course we need Zamazu. Play if you lose Giblet with 4 cards in the top of your deck. Reveal 1 battle card at a cost of 2 to 5. Add it to your hand. Place it in the bottom of your owner's deck in a random order. Interesting. 2 to 5. We have 4 copies of our regular Giblet, who has Blocker, and on play if you lose Giblet, add 2 cards from your life to your hand. So then you're just trying to flip over to get to that ability quicker. 4 copies of Janemba. Permanent, your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, this card gains 10,000 power. So yeah, they start off really low, and then they have lots of power. On play, cards add 1 card from your life to your hand. But it's costing you life to play these cheap cards that could potentially be really powerful. Interesting. We have 4 copies of Super Baby 2, Machine Mutant, and Saiyan. Yeah, 2 costs for a 20,000. On play, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When attacking, draw 1 card and discard 1 card from your hand. We have 4 copies of Cell. Yeah, 3 costs, it's a 25. On play, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, shift to 1 card, cost of 4 less in your opponent's battle area, and add to its owner's rest area. 4 copies of Turles, who's not someone I expected to see. So he costs 4 and he has 30,000. Sand and Careless Crusher Core. On play, place with 2-year energy and its owner's drop. Appears Giblet. This card gains double strike. Very cool. We have 4 copies of Hit. I don't know if I necessarily consider him a villain, but play after 1 card from your life to your hand. When attacking, if you have less energy in your opponent, choose all battle cards with a cost of 1 or less in your opponent's battle or KO them. So the point of this deck is you just bust out guys as quick as possible. These cheap guys, and have them do a bunch of damage, but every time you play them, it's costing you life points. You can only do that so many times before you're just going to lose. Where the other deck really had a focus on getting out high cost guys that were cost of 6, finding them, getting into your deck, and playing them out, playing big, massive guys. Very interesting. I should have 4 copies of regular Frieza. Namek. On play, 1 card of your life to your hand. When attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, shield 1 battle card the cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle and KO it. So yeah, keeping your energy low. It's basically like, oh, I'm gonna play a card, have 2 or 3 energy or 4 energy, play something to keep reducing it, and hopefully your opponent's gonna start getting 5, 6, 7 energy. And you know what I mean? You can then keep it that low, but you can use it to stay low, so that way you can keep boosting all these guys up for getting some really cool effects. 2 copies of Majin Buu Kid version. Cost 4. On play, discard 1 card from your hand to place 2 of your energy in the owner's drop. Add the top card of your deck to your life. Then add 1 battle card from your drop to its owner's energy. So yeah, this one's actually really good to help you out. Like, let your energy build up to 4. Drop him down. Discard a card from your hand, so it costs you that. But you place 2 of your energies, now you're back down to 2. That'll help boost up almost anybody else. And also, you can add 1 card from your drop to its energy. So you actually back up to 3 for the turn. Cool. Our last character is Raditz. You have 2 copies of Raditz. Which is doing it's a Sunday Blast. If your leader is Giblet, add 1 card from your life to your hand. Activate main once per turn. Place 1 of your energy and gets owner's drop this card. In battle, it gets 15,000 power for the turn. That just turns him into a 20,000. We have 2 copies of Born of Fury and Hate. Activate battle. Cards in your battle get 15,000 power for the battle. If your leader is Giblet and you have less energy than your opponent, that card gets 10,000 power for the battle. And then we have 2 copies of Twisted Morality. Activate main. Place 1 of your energy into its owner's drop. If your leader is Giblet, choose up to 1 of your cards, the cost of 4 or less, and 1 battle card, the cost of 3 or less in your opponent's area, and KO them. The 1 battle card, the cost of 4 or less, and up to 1 battle card, the cost of 3 or less in your opponent's area. Nice, so you get rid of some of their cheaper guys. Because that's the idea. This deck almost, it's kind of interesting because the other green ones, again, want to like spam getting a lot of energy and get out big guys quick. And this one wants to do the exact opposite. It wants to like win as fast as possible. It's very, very interesting. Alright, so then we have our bonus pack for this, which we are going to get a shiny golden Frieza. Again, like, well, the lightning on there is really cool. Again, if they were all foil like this, I would have loved this. So again, I love the artwork on here. I just I don't really care for all the foilies. Yeah, so very, very cool. Alright, so that is what we have for our decks 9 and 10. Shallot and Giblet. So if you're looking for these, again, this is up to you if you want to get them for the price point. The EX part is just, they're all foiled. Again, it's a couple times now, I personally didn't really care for that foil on there. It didn't really work for me. Especially not if that's the extra price point. I'm not really a huge fan of when they come with, you're being forced to have to buy a deck that has sleeves and like extra tokens and stuff, because I don't always need those. But I guess I would rather have something like that I can always trade off or resell to somebody else if I don't want them. Or potentially use them if I decide to use those particular sleeves if I like that design. Versus a foil foil like this. If they're the cool foils, like the 2 extra ones, I would have loved this. I would have gladly spent the extra money. But then as per the decks themselves, yeah, they have some really neat mechanics. They play a little bit different. They have a different idea or structure of what the game can do. It's always fun to see what they can pull out with this stuff, and then how you can maybe combine them with the older things. How could you have a green deck that boosts on playing a ton of energy with a bunch of guys that are boosted up really cheap, but then they want to discard energy? Is there some combination there? And then the black ones, a lot of cards in here that play that extra marker. None of them really gain any bonus for having them, but that can then team up with them cards that do gain bonuses for having the energy marker. Just then they each came with their own downsides. Is the obvious one, if you don't have the leader, a bunch of the cards have effects that don't really do anything. They don't do anything if you don't have that leader. And I don't know if they'll reproduce these guys as leaders in a set anytime soon or not. It might be licensing with that game. They might only be able to do these decks. They might not have a full booster set. If they do have a full box, it'd be cool, but then the thing is, they almost have to put these back in these 2 colors, so it's kind of like, great, now I have these guys again in the same color. If they put them in a different color, it's going to be hard to mix and match them with another deck. Just because now you're playing being forced to play a dual color deck with them. But yeah, very, very possible you can do that. And then both of their effects, either having 2 or less energy, some of that doesn't always necessarily benefit other things as well. And then putting 6 card costs back on your deck, if you don't have a way to utilize that or have a reason for it to be there, it ends up being a dead draw on your next turn. So either you're dead drawing on your turn for the black deck, or you're limiting your energy to gain a little bit of boost for the green deck. So yeah, whether as of right now there's other stuff in the other sets that can really bonus off that, that's just kind of fun to check out. But that's what we have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out the other Dragon Ball Fusion stuff. See you guys later. Bye.